Coming to historical overview, Maria Montessori is a well-known educational psychologist. She is not only an educational psychologist but a very well-known Italian physician. She was born on August 31st, 1870. She is considered to be one of the first female physicians earning her medical degree in 1896. Before she established her well-known principles of Maria Montessori learning spaces, she worked with many children who were developmentally delayed. That is when her first interest strikes, or her first interest came when she saw children who need help, who need love, and who need care while visiting the hospital. 20th century is a very important century for Maria Montessori because this is an era where she explored her interests, where she was trained, where she conducted many research, attended courses, and developed materials and methods. After harsh training or showing her perseverance in developing principles about Maria Montessori's teaching and learning, around 1907, she opened her first classroom, which is called as Casa dei Bambini. Her first school was mainly focuses for low-income families she established in Rome. When the school first opened, 50 to 60 children ages 2 to 7 were enrolled. Apart from the normal classroom existed, hard learning classroom spaces strikes with different features, for example, dressing, gardening, and they also use different classroom materials. She emphasizes on free choice independent of any extrinsic rewards. Let's dive into some notable features about Maria Montessori methods of teaching or classroom. What sets them apart from the normal classroom? First and foremost, there is a devoted quiet corner, which is for peace and reflection for the children. It radiates harmony and respect. It addresses the children address each other respectfully and in modulated tones. There is a busy balance of activity, yet also profound respect for silence for one another. Students demonstrate great literacy as well as an interest in the welfare of others. The classroom common objective is let me help. Students also work together as stewards of their environment, which means that they are responsible of their environment and they also take good care of their environment. They take turns caring for classroom plants. They do their part to maintain order and help keep outdoor spaces groomed and litter-free classroom. There are very important fundamental principles of Montessori education. The first and foremost, a very important one is respect for the nature of the child. Regardless of the ages, Maria Montessori emphasized that it is very important to be essentially equally include children both in giving respect as well as receiving respect. She emphasized that by doing so, it does play a great role model for them. They will be able to learn to understand and be kind to others. And at the same time, we will be also forging their self-esteem, which means enhancing their self-esteem, teaching them that they are valuable and they deserve respect. Second one is children need movement. In order for learning to take place, Maria Montessori states that there should be movement which can enhance learning. Movement is a must. When they find something they like, creative energy is born that leads them back to action, and in this way, they get to know themselves and build. So, allowing children to explore their environment with freedom of movement, it can encourage their desire to know what their interests are. and how they receive information. That means how they explore environment. The third one is freedom and self-control. When we talk about parenting, this point can be particularly challenging since culturally we are accustomed to believe that children must be given certain orders all the time to achieve or to get the desired behavior or the goals. However, by concentrating and getting involved in their interests or in the practice of their interests, the child can achieve control of their movement and emotions. So, when the child feels free, internal potential drives. So, when children have freedom, they can know self control. The fourth principle is follows one's own interests. The best way to achieve deep learning is through self interest and by allowing the children to explore what they like, what they don't like, in addition to improving their comprehension and concentration. By following their own interests, they can develop independence and will. That is very, very important. So, to follow their own path of development, the child needs the freedom where he can make choices that are appropriate or accustomed to their needs. Maria Montessori emphasized on internal rewards, allowing them to enjoy their achievements and experience making mistakes not as a failure. It can help the child build good self esteem and a sense of responsibility. The sixth one is We Are Your Guides. Here, Maria Montessori talks about two fundamental attitudes, which are humility and responsibility. Recognizing that the child is the protagonist, Maria Montessori says that the teachers should not teach the child. Instead, the teacher should offer the means like accepting their own mistakes and also accepting other people's mistakes. It can provide them as a learning opportunity. At the same time, establishing a horizontal relationship with the child based on respect is also very much important. So the teachers should not teach the child, but also only offer means willing to help for the child, with the child, and also from the child whenever it is required. The second point which come under We Are Your Guides is responsibility. Identifying the individuality of each child is important. Keeping the environment prepared and offering activities at the right time with the right technique. Every time you reflect on your own work and look for ways to improve it, and also by responding calmly instead of reacting. So, under We Are Your Guides, there are two main points, which are humility and responsibility. Learn in community. Maria Montessori believes that there is coexistent when there is a coexistence of mixed ages, which means in her learning spaces, she doesn't only confine to one particular ages. She mixes of all ages in the classroom. And she believes that it helps in both individual and collective development. Children develop social community learning and also a willingness to help. Not only willingness to help, but also develop altruism. Enriching social interactions promotes respect, tolerance, and solidarity. So, why she emphasize on learn in community is that when there is a coexistence of mixed age group, there is mutual help. For example, the little ones look at the big ones and ask for help, and competitions naturally disappears. Coming to the last principles of Maria Montessori, orderly environment is equal to orderly mind. For the Montessori method, environment is a wide and open place. Order, aesthetic, simple, and real. The child is the father of the man, said Dr. Montessori, since it is the child who creates himself, revealing the person he can become. At the same time, Maria Montessori emphasized on orderliness. External order promotes clarity of thoughts and concentration, where it gives a sense of security as well. If the environment in which the child develops provides a clear understanding of what exists and how it works, this allows the child to explore freely, cultivating their autonomy and self discipline. So, orderly environment is equal to orderly mind. Coming to an end for today's learning spaces. Thank you.